Hey guys, so we're well into October already, into the fall season. It's been a pretty busy September, actually, with kids going back to school and fall season starting and things like that. But so I finally got some footage to show on the channel. So a couple of weeks ago, I actually had an interesting week where I had 4 games with 4 different teams in 4 completely different divisions. Not only that, it was the first time that I was on the ice with my true L87 set. So in this video, we're going to talk about how that week went, basically, and some of the challenges that come with playing in a low division, jumping into a higher division, back to a low division, and then again back to a higher division. So it's definitely one of those things that takes a bit of time to adjust, but without me just kind of talking about it, let's just see how it went. So we're going to start the week off on a Tuesday night with one of my regular teams in the fall called the Dragoons. We play out of the 8 Rinks League ASHL in the 30 plus E1G division. For those of you who don't know, E1G is basically, I believe, like the second to the bottom tier. Plus, it's the first time I'm going to be on ice with that true set. So let's check out how that went. So when I was younger playing goalie, I always had this ego that told myself I'd usually play better in higher divisions. But nowadays, I actually really enjoy these lower division games because it's a little bit less pressure, it's a little bit of a slower pace, and it allows you to really slow the game down and work on your technique. That's not to say that it's not challenging because there's still a lot of shots, but I do feel that playing in a slower paced game, it really forces you to have good mental toughness and concentration, because staying focused during those times where there's not many shots, that's a skill that you actually have to learn as well too, because you'll never know when that team is going to have that one breakaway or that one scoring chance with a minute left to tie the game up. If you're not focused throughout the entire game, regardless of how many shots you face, you have to be mentally strong throughout the game to make that one save to push your team through. So I feel like playing these types of games have really helped me work on my mental focus and concentration to make sure that I stay engaged even though there's not much action in front of me. So we end up winning this game 3-2. It was actually a pretty close game. The true set felt completely natural when I hit the ice with it. And as soon as I went on the ice there, I was like, yep, this is the set that I'm going to keep. And if you kind of look behind me, I actually don't have a bunch of gear lying around because everything else I've sold. So we pick up a win on this Tuesday night. Immediately following that, we actually have a double header the next night on a Wednesday evening, and we're actually going to be playing in ASHL 30 plus in the North Shore, and we're moving up from the second last division to the second highest division in that league there. So let's just see how that went. So right off the bat, I could already tell this was going to be like way faster than what I'm used to playing at. And right off the bat too, I get smoked for 3 goals all over the blocker side. And one of the things that I noticed coming from the previous game to this one was when a shooter is coming in a higher skill division like this is not only can they snipe and shoot really hard, but they're always looking to make that backdoor play or taking an extra deke before shooting. And that I felt really threw me off, especially where I'm used to playing against guys who kind of just skate in and just shoot. So this tells me that I have to work on my hockey IQ in terms of like anticipation and looking around and really scanning other players around. And just watching the footage now, like there's a lot more skating involved compared to the previous game. So footwork is always extremely important when you're playing in a faster division. I could already tell though that my footwork wasn't really up to par to keep up with these guys, even though I felt like I was like hanging on for dear life in this game. One of the things that is cool about playing in a division that's maybe slightly out of your reach is it really pushes you to be engaged completely through the entire game. It's almost like you're running off of adrenaline and you kind of do things that you never expected yourself to do. And that's what I really like about these games. It kind of really just pushes you to the limit. We actually get cooked 7-2 on this game. Definitely not one that I would like to remember. Didn't help that I spotted them a 3-0 lead in the first period. No joke, this game really physically and mentally took a lot out of me just because of how fast the pace was compared to the previous night. I really felt like I just had to do what I could do to just keep up with the pace. You know what they say for a goalie? You have to have a short-term memory, because we have literally a game right after this one on the same rink. So we're gonna jump from the second highest division, we're gonna bump all the way back down to the second lowest division again in this league here. So let's just see how this one unfolds. So funny thing is, as soon as I started playing this game, obviously the pace is a lot slower. I actually felt kind of bored, you know, after getting shelled the previous game. I actually felt like this was kind of slow and not that fun anymore, which is kind of weird because I think once you get a taste of that like faster pace, it really kind of brings out this like animal in you, and it doesn't always come out, right? Especially when you play in a slower paced game. So I think the thing with these types of games here, where you have a bit of a slower pace, if you can learn to bring that intensity out from the higher division game to bring to these types of games, I think that's really going to elevate your game. That's something that I still don't really know how to do. In a way, I just kind of play to the level that's in front of me. If you're able to play with faster groups, you know, take that intensity that it gives you and try to apply it to every single ice time, whether it be a practice or a shinny or again a slower paced division game like this. But definitely what I noticed is there's a lot less footwork that needs to be done compared to the last game. So this is something that I'm more comfortable, this type of pace, but I definitely want to learn to push the pace, so obviously I can get better as a goaltender. Luckily, this was a more relaxed game. We ended up winning this one. I believe it was 12-4 at the time. I'm totally glad that the guys brought all their offensive power, because I don't think I really played that well that game anyway, because I was just completely wiped up already from the first. Anyways, our fourth game is on the weekend on the Saturday, and we're going to jump back to Scotia Barn, except this time we're going to be playing in 19 plus E1B. So this is pretty much the same level that I played with over the summertime, and I believe in terms of like tiering, this is probably around like the middle of the pack. So let's see how the last game of the week went. So I had another slow start to this one. I basically spotted them another 3-0 lead like I did in the other game. So note to self, come a bit earlier to the rink so I can get a proper warm-up in, especially on games that are faster paced like this. I definitely did not have a good warm-up in this one. It was like 30 seconds, I think, with a couple of shots, and I just really couldn't get my feet under me in that first period. So after playing these games, I think if I had to take a few pointers from this is, first, make sure you always look around, turn your head around to look for other threats, because when you're playing with higher skilled guys, they're gonna look for that extra pass before shooting. The second thing is just constantly work on footwork, because you'll notice here, these guys move the puck around the rink really well, and the team game is so much more apparent in a skilled division like this, where pretty much like almost everybody touches the puck before a shot gets taken. And if your skating is not up to par, you're just not going to be able to get that depth and get over in front of the puck to make the save. So again, I had a really slow start to this one. Again, I spotted the other team, another 3-0 lead. It wasn't until that second period that I felt a lot better. We ended up losing this one 7-5. I think I could have stopped a handful more to give our team the win, but things don't always work out that way. So when you lose games like this, especially when you're letting in 7 goals, you can either dwell in this for a couple of weeks, but what I try to do is take from those losses and just try to learn from them. And one of the key things that I noticed from going from a lower division to a higher division is that my movement definitely still needs a lot of work. Not only that, but my hockey IQ really still is trying to adjust to the higher pace of the game too. So I'm definitely going to do a video on the true set that I'm wearing and basically why I chose it over all the other sets that I had in the past 8 months. But it's been a great start to the fall season. I'm loving going back on the ice again. I hope you're all too. I hope you're having a great fall season to start. It's been pretty busy. You know, I've been on the ice about 3 to 4 times a week. Trying to cut back a little bit more because my old man body has actually been pretty tired. My back is like aching from going on the rink a little too much, I think. Anyway, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.